Can you have female friends? I got this comment from one of my videos about marriage, and I gave him like a brief answer, but I think I want to go more in depth. And I did say to him I would create a video about it because I had the same discussion with another friend regarding the topic of female friends, and my answer has always been yes and no. It's not or no, yes and no. I had some notes, so I'll start. Men and women can have normal conversations with each other. That I cannot argue. Like the ability to talk to the opposite sex. Like I think in grade 4, like I adopted this fear of talking to girls, which was I actually didn't have a fear, but I just spoke out loud to like my friends. Oh, I'm afraid to talking to girls. And then eventually, I think in grade 6 and 8 was like the peak time when I was mostly hanging out with girls. Because for myself, I went through like not. It was like a phase of being feminine, like. So if you think of like our temperament as a spectrum of like femininity and masculinity, I shifted to one end of the spectrum to then eventually go to the other end. Yeah, I did have female friends at the time, but to be honest, I was only friends with them because I was trying to go after one of their friends. And I feel like in most cases, guys are only friends with girls because they are waiting for their chance to date them, which is dishonest. One of my core principles is living by the truth. And for me to have a female friend, like a platonic female friend who I don't want to be platonic and I actually want to date, that's lying. That's a form of lying to me. Like it's dishonest to me. And I have enough self-respect to go, well, I respect my time, so I shouldn't be in this grey zone or being in the friend zone and just waiting for my turn. That's dishonest. It should be either, I think Trump said it in his autobiography, Trump the Art, or semi-autobiography, Trump the Art of the Deal. Whenever you go into a deal, you should be willing to walk away. Because if you're not willing to walk away, you're the weaker position in the deal. I know it's like a business analogy, but stay with me. Because rather than falling back to the deal of I can just be a friend. Because truly, you don't want to be a friend. Like, again, it depends on the situation. That's like 99% of cases. You don't actually want to be a friend. You actually want to date. If you had enough self-respect, you'd not waste your time by getting an answer, whether it's a yes or a no. But most guys are too afraid to hear that answer or the possibility of rejection, so they stay being friends, which they're comfortable with. Because as humans, we try and get away from discomfort and displeasure as much as possible. So that's why we stay being her friend. But again, I think truly, discussing it with a friend, I truly only have probably 1 or 2 female friends, truly. And even then, I just see her as platonic, nothing romantic. Even then, I will not go out of my own way to hang out with her, even one-on-one. That's what I do with my male friends. I know it sounds stupid to categorize your friends in terms of the sexes, but the reason why I do hang out with my male friends more, because you have to think friendship is a value exchange. Any relationship, whether it be romantic, platonic, or friendship, it's all value exchanges. Actually, did I make a video? No, I didn't make a video about this. I think I mentioned it in How to Be Dislikable about friendships and relationships being value exchange. But you must understand, a male and female friendship, if it's purely platonic, sure, then it's equal. But if the guy wants to date her, but she doesn't want to date him, then the guy is falling short of the value. Because she's attaining his attention, his time, without giving the affection that the guy wants. So it's an unfair deal. So that's the reason why I don't tend to have sort of like fake friendships, isn't it? Well, fake friends are like people who talk behind your back, but I'm talking about when when the intentions of the relationship do not align. If she thinks you're just a friend and you want to date her, your intentions aren't aligned. And then you're not living by the truth because you're not willing to give up this friend, this so-called friend, because again, you're enjoying the female attention. Like, to be honest, when I did have female friends, I did like the attention because it's like you're hanging out with the opposite sex. Like, that, I can't put my finger on it. Like, you sort of get this validation that you're surrounded by the opposite sex. But in turn, which I've learnt in grade 8, guys sort of lose respect for you if you're hanging out with females and you're happy just being their friend. Like, on a subconscious level. I don't know how to pick it. Like, even myself, even I catch myself disliking or losing respect for guys who just hang out with chicks because it goes, you have the confidence to hang out with them, but you do not have the confidence to ask them out. Probably because you're too afraid of the potential answer. Again, we live in a state of fear of the unknown, and we're not willing to lean into it. So we lose respect for it. And the guys, my guy friends in grade 8 lost respect for me, and they started making fun of me and sort of bullying me, which is understandable. Again, bullying shouldn't happen, but like, it's understandable why. But now I sort of created my life. Now after graduating, I don't get to see really females of my same cohort or age, really. Like, I think for the past 6 months I've only been hanging out with my guy friends and only seeing like the same cohort of like females at parties, and that's just by coincidence. Any other notes? Yeah, just and then he asks, should I cut off his female friends? Like, I listened, I think, a piece of advice from Hamza. He said, like, if they're friends, like, you can cut them off, but like the more natural way is just not like slowly disintegrating. But again, like, that's if you want to cut them off. Like, I always leave. Whenever someone asks me for advice or a decision, I just give them all the, not evidence, but like the best piece of advice and go, you can make a decision. It's not up to me, because again, I don't know. I truly don't know. But personally, like, did I cut off? Nah. Like, even the other day, like one of my female friends, she like sent a photo of a photo we took together, like I think a day before our math methods results, like for the first exam of year 12, and I don't go, oh no, I'm not going to interact with it. Like, no, like, it was a genuine, like, nice interaction. I was like, thank you for sending this photo, because it was a great photo. Because the funny thing was, I had a serious face and she was smiling, even though she was probably the most stressed out of the two of us. But she did fine. She did fine in method. She got into university, so it was like, it's great, it's fantastic. But again, like, what sort of value are you getting from this female friendship? Because if truly deep down inside you want to date this female friend of yours, and if you put your intentions forward that your friendship might be eventually lost, well, that's just the cost. That's just the price, my friend. That's just the price of use the word, chasing after what you want. Because sometimes you will get rejected, but sometimes you will succeed. No risk, no reward, as they say in business. So, but again, it's also about self-respect. I always see it as self-respect, because you want to value your time, and you're wasting your time if you continually lie to yourself and to her that you just want to be friends, when truly you don't. So, it's your decision. Like, I even remember my former partner, she just wanted to be friends with him. Again, like, I lived by my principles. I didn't want... So I did ask her out. I did ask her to formal. She thought we were just friends, like two friends going together. And then I asked her out to a date. Then she rejected it. So she said, still be friends. I didn't say yes. Like, I just, like... In my head, I was going, I'm not going to drop her because she was afraid I would like drop her. Like, no, we're not going to formal anymore because you don't want to go on a date. Like, that's just a dickhead move because like we've already made a commitment to go together. But I didn't want to overcomplicate it, so I said nothing about it. So I only mentioned something about it. I think it must have been a month after formal or after we graduated. Then I mentioned something. No, I don't actually want to be your friend. Like I said over voice memo, I actually don't want to be your friend. I still want to date you. And then her reaction was funny, but again, she didn't want to date me, so it's like understandable. Like I'm willing to walk away. Again, for me, it was very scary because I was afraid for what she was gonna say, but at least I did it because I had enough self-respect for myself to go. I needed to know an answer. Because I can't be living this unauthentic life of I'm your friend, because I'm not. Because I don't want to be your friend. I want to date you. So that's sort of like, and again, this probably comes easy if your temperament is more masculine. I think I heard something about Andrew Huberman saying testosterone helps with doing like harder stuff. Like it makes harder stuff enjoyable. That's why you tend to see a lot more men working harder in the gym because testosterone helps with dealing with that hard stuff. And I'd probably say it's the same with like relationships or with any conflict, like social conflict. Yeah, and that's the reason why I waited a month as well, because she hired a photographer, and I didn't want to overcomplicate it. Go, I don't want to be your friend, and then we stopped talking. And I'm like, oh, I need the photos. She's watching this. Nah, it would be fine. So it all comes down to self-respect and the value you want. Again, like it can be just platonic. I have at least one or two. But like 99% of the cases, you don't want to be just friends. You actually want to date her, but you're just too afraid to ask. And you're happy. You are happy to just be friends. Which truly, deep down inside, you're not, because you actually want to date her. So you want to polarize it, my friend. That's how we go into the friend zone. I think I mentioned this in my friend zone video, is you go in the friend zone because you haven't polarized it to be a fuck yes or no. And if you don't, you will be forever in the friend zone. And you will forever have this pain of going, I want to date her, but she doesn't want to date me. But you're you're inflicting your own pain because you're not willing to take the pain of biting the bullet and going, I'm just gonna ask. Any other notes? If you see her as a friend, nothing more, go ahead. I see no issue in it. And again, I'm also thinking that like if I had a wife or a partner, a message, I should probably silence that. My bad, I shouldn't have my phone on while recording videos. Like if I had a marriage or partner, like I wouldn't want my wife to be hanging out with a male friend. And some people might say that's coming from a place of insecurity, but like I reckon my wife wouldn't want the same thing of like if I was hanging out with a female friend, like by ourselves. Like it doesn't make sense. Like there is no, like if I had a female friend, it would be my wife. As simple as that. Like of course, like if she had female friends, of course I would interact. I wouldn't be weird. Like don't be weird to the opposite sex. Just have the capability to have normal interactions with them, but just don't cut yourself short. Like truly, you fall back to being a friend. You never agree to being a friend. Unless she's platonic, like I say. The nuance, I have to keep on saying the nuance. So, yeah, just, that's sort of like what, the traits that I want to see in my partner is the traits that I have to inherit. And that includes probably not having any female or opposite sex friends. Which is not that hard, because I do enjoy my male counterpart. But again, like I say, there's, what's the saying? If it's the outlier, not the rule. So you might have platonic female friends, but the one thing I want to drill is you have to like go down to the truth. like the truth of the matter. Do you want to be her friend, and do you want to date her? If the first question is yes, but if the second question is yes, you just gotta ask the question. If it's no, I see no issue. But again, you don't want to be the friend who gets the most value taken out of. It should be an equal relationship. So that's my piece of advice. So I hope it helps.